What's going on, guys? Joe here, Bountiful Gardens, Hillsboro. You know, the nights are getting a little bit chillier, and you know what that means. Fall is right around the corner, and the Festival of Foliage has begun. So many plants take on a colorful new look this time of the year, transforming your garden with the celebration of the season. And some even start bursting with blooms. And even better, now is the best time of the year to get those plants into the ground. This week, we've set the stage for 3 autumn showstoppers: Caryopteris, Amsonia, and Asters. So sit back, relax, and let the learning begin. If you're looking for an exceptionally blue flower that blooms in the fall, in combination with an amazing silvery foliage, look no further than Caryopteris or Bluebeard. This plant thrives in full sun up to part shade, although you will get a lot more flowers the more sun it gets. The happiest spot that you can plant a Bluebeard is an area that is not susceptible to any standing water. This plant does like a well-drained soil and is extremely drought tolerant once established.
Caryopteris is an amazing woody perennial that has this beautiful silvery foliage coming out in about April and then producing these beautiful blue blooms coming in about August into September. The other great thing about this plant is it's highly deer resistant. Though Caryopteris can handle part sun, if you give it full sun, it gets these beautiful blooms just like this for about 2 months. And in addition to that, it attracts a plethora of different pollinators, including bumblebees, carpenter bees, honeybees, skippers, hummingbirds, moths, and so many more.
Not only is Bluebeard a beautiful end-of-season bloom, it's also incredibly fragrant, with the leaves having a really nice minty herbal smell to them whenever you rub up against them. Because of this, it actually works really well as a natural mosquito repellent. You just rub the leaves all over your skin before you go into the garden and you'll be set. Young leaves are also edible, although they do have that really strong minty herbal taste, so it's probably best to just chop a little bit up to add some flavor to a salad, but don't overpower it.
Bluebeard is a drought-tolerant and heat-resistant perennial, which makes it a wonderful option for putting in a container. And they add great fall interest as their leaves turn to a buttery yellow color. Around that same time, they'll start producing seeds, which are a wonderful food source for birds going into winter.
The Caryopteris surrounding me, as you can see, is a pollinator magnet. Also known as Bluebeard, they can fill numerous niches in your garden, with sizes ranging from 2 feet up to about 6 feet, depending on the variety.
So if these bursts of blue are just your hue, maybe Caryopteris is the shrub for you. Up next is a shrubby native perennial with year-round interest. Let's take a closer look at Amsonia. This is Amsonia or Bluestar, and it's a native perennial that requires little to no maintenance. It gets its name Bluestar because it gets these amazing blue flowers in springtime, but to me that's just an added bonus because you get this awesome narrow leaf foliage throughout the rest of the year, and then that's amazing golden color throughout the fall. Amsonia does really well in full sun to part shade. It can handle some moisture, but does need a slightly well-draining soil. There are also a few different types of Amsonia out there. They range from dwarf varieties that get 12 to 24 inches, all the way up to larger shrub-like forms, which will get up to 3 to maybe 4 feet tall. It's a great plant to use as an alternative to, say, an ornamental grass, because it does give you that grass-like texture, and it also gives you movement within the garden, but the added bonus of spring flowers.
Amsonia is a wonderful plant for year-round interest in the garden, from its beautiful, dainty light blue flowers in springtime to its beautiful fall color just about now. We have 2 main types, though, at Bountiful Gardens, from the threadleaf variety to the broadleaf variety. The broadleaf variety tends to be 12 to 24 inches tall and spreads along the ground like a ground cover, while the threadleaf variety tends to be more like a shrub and gets about 3 to 4 feet tall. But regardless of which one you plant, both are great for attracting tons of pollinators, like bumblebees, carpenter bees, moths, hummingbirds, and a variety of other different pollinators.
Amsonia is a unique and interesting plant that works well in almost any perennial garden. The plant contains a sap with latex in it, so indigenous tribes used to use it to help close up wounds. However, if you have a latex allergy or your skin is kind of sensitive, I wouldn't recommend rubbing this on your skin. Instead of using them topically, you can use Amsonia in cut flower arrangements. The stems have this really nice, delicate structure to them that adds some depth and foliage to your arrangement. And when they do flower, it's a really striking centerpiece that's perfect for any bouquet. People like to plant them in their cut flower gardens, just in case they need to add a sprig of greenery to their arrangement.
Amsonia is a native perennial here in New Jersey, and it is deer-resistant and pest deterrent due to the latex sap that can be found in its stem. As we go into fall, Amsonia leaves will turn into a beautiful yellow color with almost bright orange stems, and the variety that will do the most of that for you is called butterscotch. Another fun fact about Amsonia is it was named by Dr. Charles Ampson, who was a Virginian scientific explorer and physician in the 18th century.
With its blue spring blooms and blazing autumn hues, Amsonia is a surefire standout in any garden. Closing out this week's lesson is a widespread superstar in the plant world, Asters. Let's see what all the fuss is about. If you're looking for a native, easy to care for plant that blooms in the fall, comes in a variety of colors, and does well in a variety of conditions, then Asters might be right up your alley. Asters, as you would have guessed, are a member of the Asteraceae family, which is one of the largest family of plants in existence. Asters alone have over 600 species, and in the entire family of Asteraceae, there's actually over 32,000 different types of plants. In fact, ironweed, which we featured last week, is also in the Asteraceae family, so they're kind of like cousins. Asters work really well as a border plant within the garden, and they even do well in containers, making them extremely versatile plants to use in your garden. And being that they're a low-maintenance native plant, their fertilizer needs are actually pretty minimal as well. So you can pretty much set an aster in the ground and just let it do its thing.
As Joe said, the aster family is the largest family of plants in the entire world, giving you this beautiful range of different colors. And in addition to that, you also have asters that do well in full sun, but also some asters that do well in full shade. Since the aster family is so big, you can find asters blooming as early as July or blooming as late as November, depending on the species. And different bees like different kinds of asters. So the more asters you plant, the more varieties of bees you'll support.
We're back in the native meadow behind Bountiful Gardens Ewing, where we just found this native aster. A lot like its meadow companion, the goldenrod, the aster can be used to treat allergies and colds because it works really well as a decongestant. All parts of the plant are medicinal, with the flowers and leaves commonly being used in teas and tinctures, and you can grind up all parts of the plant and use it on wounds and cuts because it has antifungal and antiseptic properties as well. The flowers and leaves of the aster are edible, and you can use the delicate little blooms to decorate pastries and salads, although when you eat them raw, they're a little astringent, meaning they can leave your mouth feeling kind of dry. So if you want to reap the health benefits of the plant, I would suggest using the blooms to make a tea and mix it with a little bit of honey for sweetness.
Asters are a sun-loving native perennial here in New Jersey, and they come in a wide variety of colors, from blues to purples to pinks and whites. And as a fun fact, they are known as a flower to be given on 20th wedding anniversaries, and they're the birth flower of anybody with a September birthday.
With the abundance of variety of asters here at Bountiful Gardens, there's sure to be a few that would blend beautifully in your landscape. Caryopteris, Amsonia, and asters deserve a place in almost any garden. And now that you've been bountifully briefed on their habits and needs, it's time to come down to Bountiful Gardens and see them for yourself. And if you need help, we're always here to lend a hand. Thanks again for joining us on yet another one of our deep dives. And if you like what you're seeing, make sure you like this video, leave us a comment down below, and let us know which plant you'd like to see next, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of this amazing content that we're making for you. Thanks again. We'll see you next time. Everybody's got that spot on their property that they're just not sure what to plant. Maybe it's a little far away from the house. You can't get... I got beat in the mouth. Well, I just got stung by one of our fabulous bees, but it all goes with the territory, right?